What are those for?
It's for you.
Keep your hands, okay? Come over here, honey. It's not gonna hurt.
No, I don't want handcuffs on.
Hey everybody, John Van Dyke here for New Jersey Exposed. Today is Sunday, November 20th, 2022. Time is 3:45 p.m. Jersey time. Okay, just a quick review of something. I forgot all about this video. I'm pretty sure I reported on this. This happened 2 years ago. This had to do with a 6-year-old girl at school who has some emotional problems to begin with, and the best I can tell, there seems to be no mother, no father in the situation. This little girl is being raised by her grandparents, which is a sad reoccurring theme that we hear from the black community, unfortunately, and a lot of the problems in the black community stem from that, from kids being raised by their grandparents. And anyway, it's not about her and the parents, but this is a little girl, 6 years old. And people out there, you who've had children, had a little girl. I have a daughter. I look back and I think about when she was 6 years old, how terrifying that could be to her if something like this would happen. Anyway, so the girl was acting up, however you want to look at it. There was something going on, and she was protesting, and her way of controlling the situation, as in most children do, was she protested. She acted up in the best way that she knew how. And so the school ends up calling the police on this little girl. 6 years old, people. And so anyway, so the other morning I'm laying in bed and I got the laptop and I'm just going through see what's out there in the news and stuff, and I stumbled on that story and I watched the video, and I gotta tell you people, I'm not gonna lie to you, tears came to my eyes. I felt so bad for this little girl. I could just feel the terror in her response. You know, you gotta look at it this way. 6 years old, okay, so everybody is, bigger than you, and you have no way of running or fighting back or doing anything. And this cop shows up, this thug, school resource officer shows up, and the little girl says, he's got these tie wraps he's going to put on. The little girl goes, "What are those for?" And this little girl had the presence of mind to see what was going on, and the cops, he says, "They're for you. We're going to put handcuffs." And the poor little girl just starts, out of terror. This is terror, people. It's not fear. This is terror. And terror is worse than fear. And he put the tie wraps on her and put her in the back of the police car and took her back to headquarters. And this was not the first time he did that. He did it to some other little boy. And the deal is, and where he's at, is he is supposed to check with higher ups before they do this, for putting handcuffs on kids. First of all, what human being in their right mind, a good conscience, would say to himself, "I'm going to put handcuffs on a 6-year-old girl, or a 6-year-old boy, or a 10-year-old boy." We just did the video the other day where a 12-year-old boy got tased into submission. Who does this? What kind of person behaves like this? It's just an empty shell. That's all I can say. It's just a blue, empty shell. Now, this cop has since been fired from the job. He was a cop at will, meaning that he served at the pleasure of the sheriff. And when the sheriff found out, he got fired. But he didn't get fired because he put tie wraps on a little 6-year-old girl's hands. He got fired because he didn't check with his higher ups if it was okay to do it. You need somebody else higher up to tell you that's not the right thing to do. And where is the outcry from law enforcement? Nothing, because they think it's okay, right? Saying nothing is the same as saying it's okay. Putting tie wraps, handcuffs on a 6-year-old girl because she acted up in school. See, this is why we don't. When I went to school, 6 years old, so let's see, when I'm 6, that was 1966, all right? I was in kindergarten, towards the end of kindergarten, going into first grade. They didn't do shit like that. You acted up, they take you down to they took you down to the principal's office, and if you're really being out of control, then they called your parents, and your parents came down and had to take you home. That's pretty much the way it was all the way through school. And I left high school in 78. Well, actually, I left in 77, but I went back to school and got my diploma and everything. But anyway, so, through 1970, that's the way it was. We had this lady in high school. Her name was Rosie. I think she was about 5 feet tall. She was like a little chihuahua. And if you acted up in the hallway and did something stupid, she came down and got you. She grabbed you by the back of your collar, and she marched you off to the principal's office. And from there, the principal dealt with it. They call your parents. Parents got to come down and get you. There's no calling the police. It's just ridiculous. And I am just like, I am so against these cops being in schools. I don't have a problem if they're hired by the school. They're what here in New Jersey. No, not even a class 3, just retired cops. And their job is to buzz people in. I don't have a problem now. I got a problem when they patrol the hallways, and when people act up, they're going to arrest them, because this is not the way to do things. Parents, it's like you got to have the parents come down and deal with it, not put them in the criminal justice system. A little girl, 6 years old, cop come down there, and this poor girl, the terror, you got to put yourself in the place of a 6-year-old. To have something, to them, that's like the end of the world, It's like, I remember when I was in, I guess it was 2nd grade, or maybe 1st grade, maybe, I want to say 2nd grade, So I take the school bus to school, and the bus picked me up in front of my house, and my mother says, "Do you want me to take you to school to the classroom?" Now, you got to figure, 6 years old, I'm going into 2nd grade, you leave, let's see, 6, so I'd be about 7 years old going into 2nd grade. And she says, "Do you want me to take you to school and take you to the class?" And I said, "No, Mama, I want to do it myself." Because that's how I've been all my life. I've had to take care of myself for the most part from a very young age. It's sad, but that's how it was. I had to make my own breakfast in the morning and dress myself and get myself ready for school at the age of 6, 7 years old. It's like I look back at my own daughter, and and just it irritates, it upsets me as an adult thinking that I had to do that, but that's the way life was for me, given those circumstances. Anyway, so I remember getting into school, and you don't read very well at that age. I'm trying to find my class. Everybody's bigger than you, and it's intimidating, and I'm trying to find the classroom, and then the bells are ringing, and your body temperature's going up, the stress level's going up, because you're trying to find something. And that's just trying to find a classroom. So imagine a little girl, 6 years old, that has no experience in life whatsoever, doesn't know anything, is dependent on everybody for her well-being, and this big cop shows up, older cop no less, shows up, and she says, "What are those for?" "Oh, those are for you." And the girl just immediately emotionally breaks down. So watch the video again if you haven't seen it, and try not to get too upset. That's all I can say. I find it very emotional to watch that video. It angers me. Oh, it just angers me so much. And it angers me even more that law enforcement, they just act like it doesn't happen. They're so busy trying to change our perception of them instead of cleaning up their own goddamn act, right? I'm John Van Dyke for New Jersey Exposed.
Okay, she's gonna have to come with us now.
Okay, Kai. You
Stand
gotta
up.
go with them, baby girl.
Stand up. Okay, come over here.
What are those for?
It's for
Keep
you.
your hands, okay? Come over here, honey. It's not gonna hurt.
No!
Okay,
No,
well,
I don't want handcuffs on! No! Don't put handcuffs on! Help me! Help me! Please! Help me!
Let's go.
your grandma's gonna come pick you up, okay?
Oh, I was here to school. I just got here.
Alright.
Come on, let's go.
No, please let me go.
Okay, come on. You can tell me what happened in the car, okay?
please.
He has to.
No, please. Give me a second chance.
You gotta let him.
I don't want to do this thing. No.
You get it
Please. 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 Please let me go. No. No, help me.
Okay.
Please. No.
Give me a second.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Call me if you need something.
Yep.
Please, please let me go. No, no, help me.
Okay.
Please, no.
Give me a second.